All right, all right. What's good? What's good? What's good? It's your boy Down with Divine. It's your boy Down with Divine. I'm sitting here with Mr. Sigma Uno and Mr. Impossible, celebrating their solar return. They have hit a number that we all age to reach. We all hope to reach, and with that, they have a wealth of knowledge that I feel can definitely be impactful to anyone who listens. The same way that we talk about community and things that we can do to help community, one of the things is giving back. And the things that they know, they definitely can give back. So if you are willing to open your mind, listen to the conversation that these two fine gentlemen are about to have, and the knowledge that they're going to pass down, I feel that we all can learn a lot. The atmosphere that I want to set for this episode is pretty much two of our, I want to call them old heads, two of our wise heads, sitting down and educating the youth, the things that they have seen and gone through in life that hopefully can impact, mentor, and teach those who listen. And with that, relax your mind. It's the vibe time. Marco. Hello.
Polo.
Okay. Cool. So with that, I want to kind of roll into this. Oh, I'm gonna ask this question. When y'all woke up at the age of 50, what did that feel like?
Phenomenal.
Yeah.
It was freaking phenomenal, bro. Because I've seen classmates and friends and family members. Some didn't even make it to 40. Some didn't even make it to 35. Rest in power. My brother transitioned at 35. No wife, no kid. So to be 50, waking up that morning, man, it's like waking up. I'm super energized. We at a place in life that we never been before. There's energy that's coming in right now, the consciousness that's rising, the whole evolution of the planet right now, the spiritual awakening is happening right now. I mean, so much great things are happening, and I'm 50. Like, if I was in ignorance for 30 years and came into a light for 20, that means I still got 10 more years before I at least balance it out. They say you're supposed to balance out both halves, 30 for 30. So how I felt, man, it was freaking phenomenal. Words can't even describe what I was feeling and what I still feel right now. I'm 50 years old and I still can do 2.5 to 3 miles, and I'm still got to get my wind back. I'm not all the way back, but I'm back. But I'm not all the way back. But I'm good. You know what I'm saying? So just to still be able to do that and not to be ill, to still have such a passion for life, where I see some people that's 50 years old, bro, they just stuck, done. Some broke over, they own 7 pills and they hate their job, and you know what I'm saying? So for me, man, here right now, it's so amazing. You know what I'm saying? This is some amazing time. This is some amazing time right now. So, yeah, I felt phenomenal, bro. What about you, bro? What?
I felt the same thing. I was actually wasn't asleep. I was doing some spiritual work, and something kind of energy fell on me, and it wasn't heavy. I remember years ago when I was like 26, a weight dropped on my shoulders, and that was family things you have to deal with and people that have to help along the way. But this time it was like a different feeling. It was like this peace and this an additional understanding and additional tolerance for the work that I have to do. But you're right. The world is more beautiful when you don't concentrate on the negative or the things that are happening around us that you can't really change. So yeah,
Right.
waking up today after I slept, it was like, wow. I know there's a list of things that I want to do to change my life. I started walking more and getting out and enjoying the world, the sun and animals around me. It's like a peaceful time, real peaceful time.
Mm.
I know there's work that needs to be done. It's gonna get done, and that's the faith I have in the strength that the higher power has given me. Um, it's amazing.
Man, awesome.
My kids are alive.
It is.
Grandkids are growing. We're strengthening relationships. It's amazing. It's amazing. It's amazing. Things happen, but it don't stick like it used to. Before it used to cripple me, but not anymore. It's like we're it's like I'm equipped for it, and I'm ready to carry it and put it where it needs to go. You know, but that's how
Yeah.
I felt there.
So, are you
Well,
willing to?
let me go ahead. I'm sorry, go
I
ahead,
was
Ira.
going to ask a question to the both of y'all.
Mhm.
Are y'all willing to
Go ahead.
share an experience that y'all went through in life that, looking back on now, you felt that you could have handled differently, and anything that you could possibly pass to individuals who may run across something similar in the future or have gone through something similar in the past?
Oh man, there's a
That's
multitude
a
of
loaded
things.
gun.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's a
there's
loaded gun.
a multitude of things that happened back then, and I'd have to say that I wasn't as vigilant as I needed to be. There were times where I was in situations where my family and my heart took me to protect and take care of my family, but didn't realize the situation was as bad as it was. And that was with my younger brother, who passed away when he was 25. Rest in peace.
Mm.
He Sometimes you just don't know what to say to people, or I just say my family, because it was a battle, and to them it was a battle of who was the best. It was an alpha thing. I'm one of six, the oldest of six. So we had this thing to where who knew more, who was the strongest, and all the rest of the stuff. And instead of us being able to have a conversation to build on, we never really did. So we're at odds. And I wish I could have done something different, or said something different, or listened more to what they were saying, and maybe things would have turned out differently, because he committed suicide. He took too many
Mm.
pills, and he died. He went to California, which which he wasn't ready for the speed of California, because California's very fast paced. And I told him, I said, look,
Yeah.
this city is too fast for you. You need to kind of stick around Washington, because you're not ready for it. So there's a couple of beliefs that were centered around his death. It was because he was drenched in water from his head to his chest. They believe somebody had dunked his head underwater, because he owed them money, um, or he was just trying to wake himself up uh, from all the pills that he took. So just a couple of things that we were thinking had happened, and there was even a conflict at his funeral, of course. But yeah, I wish I would have dealt with that differently. I wish I would have listened more.
Mr. Impossible.
Well, I think for me to go back, I should have learned more, but I don't take anything for granted,
Mm,
because there has to be a balancing of ignorance. So I had to be an extreme ignorant nigga to become a more, divine God.
hmm
So I had to experience certain aspects of life, the pain and things of that nature. I'm a seventh child, third son. but there's only one sister that still remains from the mother that birthed me, my biological mother. I
Mm.
had five siblings to pass before me. I had
Wow.
two sets of twins, and I had an older sister. Her name was Renee. Renee actually came out. The two set of twins never made it. Saying to actually birth. And
Mm.
so I was the seventh child, and I was the third son. Y'all ready? All right. So I was the seventh child, third son. Now I'm gonna be riding in the car, but we still gonna kick this stuff.
Alright.
But
Mm.
but yeah, come on and say hi. But y'all, this my grandson, Naru, to the world. You know, Monty coming in. This is Amani. And this is my little smaller grandson, Bossy. Yeah, he want to do everything. But yeah, man. Go ahead to the car. I'm coming. But yeah, the things that I understand about myself now
Mhm.
compared to what I learned and what I message I was sending back. Yeah, man, study, learn, like be for real, be sincere about your learning. Because once I understood personal development, I had a mentor. Her name was Nicole Kirby, and I think I told this story about Eat That Frog.
Yeah.
And
Mm.
she said, "Mr. Walter, you read that book?" I said, "No." And she led into me so hard. I was like, "Yo, what
Mm.
you mean?" You know what I'm saying? I've never had someone that was so passionate about,
Right.
you know, not read. Like, people didn't read. It wasn't a big thing. To her, it was way out of the world. So it just bugged me
Yeah.
out, and it made me really take a good look at life as far as what was really going on for me. So
Mm.
it was everything was to change. How do I go about that change?
Mhm.
Right.
How do
So,
how do I go ahead?
oh no, no, go ahead.
How do I go about that change? What does it mean to me? Hold on one second.
So what I gathered from what both of y'all just said is that listen more and learn more.
Yeah.
So
Learning
listening
more.
and
Yeah.
learning more are two things that you're like, hey,
Yeah. There's a balance when it comes to determining or learning about who you are. 'Cause I don't know how it happened for you, Impossible, but I feel like at one point I was all in and I gave all, and I didn't think about saving any for myself or understanding for myself. It's like doing what the world needed me to do, and there was no balance. And so when it came time for me to realize that I need to save some for myself, I gripped hold too tight and didn't give to anybody. So there's a balance. There is knowing who you are, knowing what your limits are. And when I became a Mason, it taught me very clearly because they give you this cable toe, and they said that this is the length of the cable toe. You can't reach beyond this. If you're reaching out to help someone and they're within your cable toe, you can help them. If you can't reach them, then don't try because when you lean over, if you're in a boat, they're gonna pull you over. So know your limitations, know the length of your cable toe, know how far you can go. Love, but save some for yourself. Give, but don't give too much.
Agreed. We wasn't taught to give.
No.
We wasn't taught to share. We wasn't taught community, even though we lived in a community, but we didn't teach as a community.
Right.
You know what I'm
Very true.
saying? You could get your behind whooped at three different houses before you got home, but we
Right.
wasn't taught in true spiritual principles that could be passed down from generation to generation. As I
No.
stated before,
That's what was missing.
I know that my family loved me, and I know they didn't deliberately teach me ignorance.
Mm.
So I'm not able to.
Oh, you pulling the signal in?
Yeah. So now I think the car is moving.
Yeah.
The network is just dropping.
Sorry.
But yeah.
You're there.
Yeah,
Let's see.
I'm coming off of Wi-Fi.
Okay.
With so of all the years that you have been alive as of right now, would you say that you are on path
Say that again.
with all the years you have accumulated under you? Would you say you're on path with your life goals?
What I say, my life.
I,
What
Would you say you are on path with your life goals?
now? Definitely now I'm on path with my life goals. But back then I didn't have any life goals. I didn't even give a damn about living or dying. So why would I have life goals? Now I understand that I'm planning for my grandchildren. So yes, I do have goals. I do have things in structure. I do have things aligned. So this is what has to be done. But I don't take it for granted as far as that's why I say the extremes of ignorance. Like when you don't have any plans. You have companies on the New York Stock Exchange. They had plans for anyone who became the CEO that they would further the company. Some they had plans. So if you can plan for 100 years, yeah, what kind of plans can you make? What kind of goals can you set out? Can your family, saying continue with the legacy that you set forth? Yeah, I didn't have any plans then. The plans I have now is awesome. Building a community, having that community that's it, grow their own vegetables and fruit and livestock, have all that there. To have everything to be built with don't burn. You can't burn it up. No insects can eat it up. But
mm,
to have clothes made out of hemp, to have a whole line of wine made of hemp. So yeah, I got a whole lot of gold. You know what I'm saying? Now it's just executing, just learning. That's what I said. The learning that I could have done when I was younger. Cat Williams said he read 3,000 books by the age of 13, 14 years old. That's a lot. Everybody laughed. Seemed like if you were a smart dude, you'd be independent. So
definitely.
yeah, the plans we have to strategize more. We have to get into think tanks. You know what I'm saying? The first time I heard a think tank, I remember seeing Dr. Bill Valentine, and he was
Right.
talking about we don't have think tanks. We used to have 4 or 5 people that would plan what was the best strategy and the best way to execute on our growth and how we was going to get there. But we don't have individuals that want to come together. Everybody just want to make money. We don't see the big thing about our children, our future. So my plans are for my grandkids. What can I structure for them? What can I create and leave a legacy to them? So that's my goal.
Yeah, I think my goal started with really we started writing them down after my son was born. So I realized I had to leave something, I had to leave a legacy. I had plans for other things before my son was born because I didn't have kids, so it wasn't really fine tuned until my son was born, and I realized, hey, I got to leave something. So understanding finance, the world of finance, I start putting things away, start purchasing insurance policies, and trying to read and understand what I could do to support my kids as they got older. Showed them things around the world, try to teach them lessons as children, Um, the hard part was trying to counteract the thoughts and teaching of their mother versus the way I taught. And it was supposed to be a united thing, but it didn't end up being that way. So that's the only thing that I wish was different. But other than that, my plans still remain the same. It didn't change. What I have for them, what I need them to do to show that they're responsible in order to go to the next stage of their life, and what my responsibility is in that. And then additionally, my plan for the community, I plan in supporting the community. I plan to have enough to support the community and give them opportunities. So yeah, it's I've had plans for a long time, and I think I've come to a place where we're completely progressed, and only thing that we're dealing with is what the system was trying to say that they don't allow. That's my only it's the only thing that I'm fighting against. Fine tuning what love is, opening my ears a little bit more to hear what they're saying and what's going on, how they feel about traumatic situations, how they feel for them, how they feel themselves, allowing them to speak about how they feel. Um, my big challenge is with my daughters because I don't know if it's true with every one of them, but they go mute and they say nothing at a certain age, and everything's internal. So I keep the line open for them to reach out and have a conversation. And sometimes I reach out and have a conversation and do things for their birthday, pick them up and take them to get their nails done or whatever, hair done or whatever, and that's the time with them. But still have plans to support them as they get older. Yeah.
So understand, Impossible. I'm gonna meet you real quick. That way, you'll get my question, okay? Can you hear me?
Uh huh.
Can you hear me? Okay, all right.
Okay.
So with it, I understand that both of y'all have children who are adults. With that, what can you tell other fathers with children about being a father?
Ooh, I think the
Go ahead,
biggest
Walt.
I think the biggest thing is when they become an adult to hope that they listened and paid attention at a certain age. Like when my son was 17, of course of course he bucks. So when he bucks, you have to really let him know, hey, I'm not this old dude that you can run over. There's respect still remains the same. The only way that you're going to get anywhere is if you have respect for yourself, respect for your parents, and realize that having a relationship with people is actually more valuable than money. So having that conversation with him, he's bumped his head multiple times, and then he comes back and says, "I'm sorry, I should have listened." But then they go off wild again because in their thoughts that this is what they want and this is what should happen, but it doesn't happen for them. So the best thing I can say is, as with children, with the child with as an adult, they're gonna listen sometimes. They'll come back to you. They'll run back to the world and think they got it figured out. But leave the door open. Leave the door open for conversation. Leave the door for them to come and sit for a while and think. Show them that you're there to support them, even though some of the things that they do, you, you would think in the back of your mind, this is not something I would do. The biggest thing you have to remember is you were that age yourself. So go back in your thoughts and realize what you were doing when you were that age, if you can remember, and give them some leeway based on knowing you've made some of the same mistakes.
Mhm.
Oh, you muted up.
Totally agree. You know, because I have two daughters, daughters and 5 grands, and you know, sharing things with a daughter when you wasn't there and you caused fatherless pain, and then you come back years later to now teach because now you have learned. It's a different type of vigor that the young ladies have. You know, my daughters, they just like their daddy. They got that heat. They got that shit. You know what I'm saying? They gonna let you know. They ain't gonna sugarcoat it. You know, my grandkids the same way. They gonna because we talk about being honest and telling the truth. And I got no problem with that. So as much as I taught them, you know, my older daughter now, Diamond, with the podcast the other day, she'll come back now and say, "Man, Daddy, you been said this." And I just, yeah, I got you.
Hmm.
So it's a beautiful thing where whether you got sons or daughters, within your children, you can pour back into that love, pour back into them all that you have learned, but then allow them to come in. There was a point in time in my life, I think I was in my early 40s, I think I was like 41, 42, where I wanted so much for my kids. And I wanted them to heal a certain way, and I wanted them to do a certain thing. And I was like, oh, I want all of these things. I was in meditation one day, and they said, it doesn't matter what you want, they must want. What they wanted, they would. And it took me a little while to really accept that because I used to see my daughters go through certain things, and I wanted to protect them. As a father, you don't want to see your daughters go through certain things.
No.
You want to run out there and you know what I mean? At the
Mm-hmm.
same time, I have to realize they are women too. You know what I'm saying? So there's an aspect of life where they have to experience too. You know, as a father, just being there for them, no matter what they go through. As I stated, you know, in my reflections, that I've been honored to have a round table with my daughters for over a decade, over 10 years. We have been able to sit down and have conversations, and they can say whatever they want to, and not be ridiculed, not being something held against them, or not from my position to come in any way and to defend, to allow them to really express themselves about how they really feel, what it is they really feel, what is it really going through, without me saying, well, you know, I was young then. You don't know what I've been through. What? And I ain't asking you that. So to really understand it from their perspective, and as Walt said, Mr. Sigma Uno, hey man, we were young too. So that's what I tell, you know, fathers today. Don't forget you was that dummy in the street too. Don't forget how you treated them women before you found your wife. Don't forget how
Mm.
you treated those women before you found the woman that you love now. Don't act
Mm-hmm.
like you above it all now because you think you got it together because now you found your mate. Then I'll question other people and say, hell, 85% of people in relationships, they ain't even happy. Yeah, I said
Yeah.
85% of you mother others in relationship, they ain't happy. And
No.
yeah, I am single. Call it what you want to, but I guarantee you I ain't miserable. You know what I mean?
Mm.
I ain't
Right.
miserable.
Mm.
You know, and I don't. I love everybody, and I wish nothing but the best to others all the time. So you will never find me, you know, dissing somebody and telling somebody who they not because again, I got two daughters. I got 5 grands, and they all different. They all totally different. Like you hear
Mm.
Bossy in the background right now, youngest one. He like to talk and dance. He like the music. My granddaughter, my oldest granddaughter Amani, she loves to draw. Naru, he loves soccer. Ma just like to run outside and play. And Lele, she just got it. She's just having fun right now.
Mm.
So to be able to pour into my daughters all that I've learned, they don't have to use it right now, but they'll never say I ain't teaching. That's
There
what
you
they won't
go.
say.
I agree.
They
I
won't
agree.
say, well, you never share with me how I could heal. You never shared with me any resources. You never shared with me how I can do with that. You never shared. No, you can't say that.
Mhm.
So to be able to love yourself to a point where you can pour back into your children in spite of quote unquote the ups and the downs. 'Cause I don't have a perfect life. You know, me and my kids don't see eye to eye all the time.
Mhm.
I don't think me and nobody see eye to eye all the time. But shit, you can have your own mind. So that's what I would say to as far as my daughters, because daughters are different than sons. If I had a son, his chest would be caved in like this because I'd be punching a nigga.
That has happened.
You know what I'm
That has
saying? Like,
happened.
yeah, I'd be yeah. He'd be saying,
Is this
"What you say, Dad?" What you say? Yeah. What you say? Right. So be able to have that love, man, where you can, like I said, to pour into your daughters, to pour into your sons, to allow it to be okay for them to be themselves. I think that's really key today, because a lot of times children don't feel they can be this around their parents. They feel they got to live up to the standard of it and not necessarily be themselves. And I think that can be dangerous as parents. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? And I
yeah.
consider it to be, and I understood parenting from three perspectives. It was a parent, a provider, and a guardian of soul.
There you go.
Which are you? Are you a parent? Are you a provider? Are you a guardian of a soul? Do you give the soul what it needs to evolve? Or are you trying to
Mm,
structure what you think and what ideas you think the child should do? Are you letting the child even evolve and grow? We
that's
gotta
good.
we gotta
That's
we
good.
gotta really be careful out here today, because we are telling our children how to be a certain way, and we got to be careful we don't placing them in the same limitation just because we come out. Now we think we know what it takes to tell them how to be. Don't lock it. Don't lock it. Okay.
No, that
So
is
we
Yeah.
think we're gonna tell them how to be. So passing down to my daughters, when I first shared it, they didn't even believe it. They thought I was crazy. And it took years for them to be like, oh, you know what? This shit real. Now they may not live the way that I do, but I promise you they understand spirituality. I promise you they do.
Mm,
30, 31, and 29. I promise you they do. Yeah.
mm, mm.
And I'm not loved for it. Sometimes they might dislike me for what I teach. I ain't got nothing to do with that.
Exactly. Exactly.
I don't got nothing to do with
That
that.
is my statement.
But I go ahead, what?
I said that's my statement to my kids. You don't have to like me. I'm not here
Hmm.
for you to like me. I'm here for you to make sure you got what you need before you walk out that door. When you walk out the door
Yeah. Yeah.
later on, I have the same respect as when you're in the house and you walk out the door. Nothing changes. That's it. That's the way it
Nothing.
is. And I had to withdraw my
Yeah.
emotions from it. My emotions were only when they were little, and I was carrying them. You know what I'm saying? And we were going to little
Hmm.
places like play around like Chuck E. Cheese and stuff like. That's where my emotions were for my kids. But before that, after that, when as they got older, it was like, okay, it's time. It's time to take emotion out and to become this person that makes sure they need to know exactly what they need before they walk out the door. And you're right. As much as I teach them, I say the same thing. We've been teaching this since you can fully understand. If you don't, if I need to give you a reminder, we give you a reminder, but you know everything you need to know. Now you're battling the things in your head that you want with with how it looks like in the world, because the world is a completely different place from where you're living right now. But you're ready. That's the relationship that we have. So when they come back and we have these conversations, they they are full understanding. Like my son said, "Hey, I understand what you're saying, Dad. I'm sorry that we had to get into what we did before. I did that knuckle up thing. I choked them out until they couldn't see just a little bit, and then they came back to life to realize that you can't get one over on me. So
Hello.
it's just like you're right. It's this nurturing thing. It's a nurture. It's a
Mhm.
love, an everlasting love, an unconditional love, because they're gonna do stuff that's gonna piss you off. But you have to, again, like we're talking about, stepping back and say, "Hey, did I do the same thing? Was I as much of a knucklehead as they were? If I was, I might say I'm sorry, and I admit it." That's one thing I didn't get when I was growing up. I didn't get apologies, whether she was right or wrong. It wasn't whether she was right. It wasn't she was wrong. She was right all the time. So nothing I said was right. You know what I'm saying? So yeah.
So I have a question that
Mhm.
was brought up,
Okay.
and I feel like y'all would be able to best answer this question.
Hmm.
Get ready, Impossible. How do you know if you're progressing in life or
What's up, Rob?
digressing?
Mm.
Yeah, man. On a, on a podcast.
So progression versus digression.
How do you know if you're progressing in life or digressing in life?
Well, for me, there's a couple of things. There is there are there's points of progression that you give for yourself and your plan for yourself. And for me there's stair steps to that. So if I say, hey, by the time I'm 20, I'll be working for a Fortune 500 company. I'll be making six figures a year. That is my goal. It's one of my goals. The question is, when I get there, have I made it? I believe those steps are just more information to get you to your ultimate goal. Now, the digression from your ultimate goal, or from I'll say this: I worked for mortgage companies for the best of 20 years. When the crash came in 2008, the first housing crash, I was we were me and everybody that we worked for, what we worked with, were victims of that. So it leveled us. So where we were financially, I owned a house in Gig Harbor. I was I had money in projects that were supposed to be increasing. I had money in other places, and everything just began to digress. But that was not me. It was the things around me. So I had not progressed at all because I didn't know myself. I didn't go inside and figure out who I was spiritually. When I began to go inside to figure who I was spiritually, then the progression was different. The progression was being an aggressive person, not paying attention to the work I'd done, or to the people that I hurt when I was working. And from that to backing up and saying, okay, I realize people need a break. I realize I'm looking at things wrong. Realize that I hurt this person when I gave them a loan that's going to mess them up for the rest of their lives, because they're older people and they're not going to make enough money. I had to step back and take a look at all those things. So that was the beginning of a progression for me. So it was realizing that I was hurting people, and I had to change that. So I went from working corporations to working community. That was another step in the progression, because I understood that the neighborhoods we lived in not to a point where I'm trying to get out of it, but to understand the suffering of people and to try to help with helping them get away from their situation or understanding their situation enough where the community can come together and actually be productive. That was a progression for me. So working with community and becoming spiritual was more of a step up than I was before. And again, not saying that I've arrived somewhere, but saying that going inside spiritually is more progressive than building things around you in the world. That's my understanding of it.
I love
Impossible.
it. I'm all right. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Well, I just want to say that as far as like a progression, I had to go with first understanding what I didn't know when I was young. Because in my 20s, all I knew was the streets. It was all about money, drugs, and sex. It was a song, like it was real life. So from that to be 50 to understand what I progressed in, I never wanted to pick up a pen and a pad. I never could express myself as a black man because expressing yourself as a man, they said you were soft. You know what I mean? You couldn't cry. You couldn't show no type of emotion. To understand who I am within self, within God, within man, within this particular time, that's progression. Understanding my heritage, my culture, and what I really understand, that's progression. Because that's something that was taken away from us. That's something that wasn't given to us. That wasn't that wasn't something that was automatic. So when somebody can take your culture, someone can take your language, somebody can take how you understand you speaking and communing with God, how in the world can you have any progression in life?
Yeah.
What would that be like?
Yeah.
So my progression was understanding and truly evolving exactly who I am versus who I thought I was when I was a young 20-year-old running the street, fighting in the drug game, and doing everything else. And it wasn't like I was no big dope dealer. I used to always just hustle weed and cocaine. That's what I did when I was young.
Yeah.
So it was all about getting money. Like I said, it was money, sex, and power. That was the way to get it. There was
Hmm.
no ifs, ands, and buts about it. So my progression is I'm no longer in the street. I don't want to go to jail. Again, I
Hmm.
got 5 grandkids. They look for me. They look for their papa. They want to know where their papa at. I can't
Right.
be doing no goddamn 5 to 10 talking about I was trying to rep it for the streets. Who the fuck is
Right.
the streets?
Mm. Really good.
So yeah,
Yeah.
for me, my progression was just really learning who I am as a man, as an indigenous man that walked on this land. Take away, like I said, take away the black man. I'm not a black man. I'm an indigenous. It's my land.
There you go. There you
You
go.
fuckers came and you took it.
Hmm.
So I know the truth. You can't lie to me. So that's my progression is understanding in totality who I am versus what they taught me to be. That's my
Right.
progression in life. All the ignorant shit I've been through as a young dude, fighting and in the club and in the streets and drinking and smoking, and I still smoke good bud right now today. I'm just not in the game.
Right. And for me, it's the same thing. It's I I don't want to. We've seen it all, bro. We've seen from the
Hmm.
dope dealing, the pimping, all of that. We've seen it, none of that appealed to me. But it was something that we were around and we dealt with because we needed to we need to survive. So any step out of that situation and up in what we thought it was the right direction was progression to us at the time. But that information, man, like you said, that knowledge, when the knowledge starts rolling in, it's hard to look back and to go back. It's like I can't be there because there's nothing there left there for me. I have to move forward and I have to learn more so I'll be in the right place. And otherwise, it's all understanding and believing in who you are and understanding what your soul is. And man, really understanding what this avatar and your higher self, your lower self, everything about you. That's progression for me. And to watch that, to teach that, and to watch that in my kids is important. To teach that and watch them grow in it and really pick it up and move with it. Hopefully, hopefully they will. Or whenever they do, I'll be happy with that. And that's how I view progression.
You still with us, Impossible? So like he froze
You
up for a
froze up.
second. Yo, all honesty, I'm like, y'all have an ocean of wealth. And I'm like, it's impossible for us to be able to get
Right,
everything out of it, especially in like one sit.
right.
Um, and as time goes on and continues to go on and we have more episodes, I'm definitely going to be asking more of y'all, your knowledge base at least. You know,
Mm,
like when I say at least, literally, that's the least.
right.
I'm going to be asking a lot of things of y'all. Some things online, some things not online. But with it, for anybody who is listening right now, what would you say is one of the, besides listening more and learning more, what would you say to anybody, any listeners, something that could possibly change their life for the better at this moment?
Hmm. I would say love yourself.
Love yourself?
Find out what that means,
Hmm.
how it looks, and how it feels. It's there, but it's caught up. You're caught up in trying to get something based on what an image is poured into your life. And I'm not saying all people have done that, but love yourself. I mean, at the basis of all things, love is the most important thing. When you begin to love yourself, you begin to love people. I had this thought when I was doing my spiritual work this morning, and we listen to music, we know about the artists, but but being an artist is the hardest piece. The reason why is because if even if you're an empath, you feel people's thoughts. You feel how people think about you. You people how people feel about you. You know people are talking about you. That is for them to the 10th power. I had to withdraw myself from the thoughts of the media and how they thrash artists. Artists are go through a lot. How about we ask them? How about we
And
ask for healing and protection for them? Because where they are is where they thought they needed to be. I hope they run it. I hope they have some healers around them. I hope they have people that are protecting. Hope that people that are speaking life into this situation,
I had a,
because it's hard being who they are. That's one thing I have to do is step back from myself and make and pray for someone else. That is a sacrifice that I have to make. Pray for others. It has nothing to do with me. It has everything to do with the wealth and the health of my community. And they are part of our community. We listen to their work. We watch perform, and we don't know what it takes out of them. In addition to that, they're thrashed by the media. Love yourself. Take in consideration someone else. Love someone else. Take in consideration their pain and their suffering. When you step back from yourself, you realize some people is going through more than what you're going through.
Hmm.
I would say pause a minute. Just stop what you're doing, whatever it is that you're doing. Even if you're having a great deal of success, pause a minute. Just stop. Take a breathe. Reflect. Make sure that you are doing the things that are beneficial to you and it's your internal desire. I would say know the difference between your internal desire and your external desire.
Hmm.
Like the things that you desire to do, where it come from, who gave it to you,
Yeah.
why do you have it? Is it if it's rooted in you, who planted the seed?
Hmm.
I would always say to my brothers and my sisters, always recognize, as well say, love yourself. I think that's something that as melanated men, especially women too, it's a difficulty to love yourself.
Hmm.
You know, why not love yourself? Why is a melanated indigenous man telling another man he love him? Why is that a problem? Why I gotta automatically
Right.
go towards you gay?
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Just because I tell somebody I love them, that don't make me gay.
Yeah.
Now, if you doing things that you participate in that type of life, that's what it is. You live whatever life you want to live. But my
Right.
lesson would be to love yourself first. Know thyself. Take the time. Pause. Just stop a minute. Everybody want it so fast. Microwave. I want to do it quick. Everybody want to do it fast. Somebody want to do it fast like them. What they did, and then they start doing the thing. You know what I'm saying? And I ain't sit here in front. Ever since Cat Wim came out the bag in January, the motherfucking podcast been crazy.
Oh
You know what I'm
yeah.
talking about? So
Yeah.
I would say, be yourself. Stay true. No matter what. Let anybody else go in their lane. Be true to you. That's why I say pause a minute. If I would give anything to the listener, pause. Take a deep breath. Because even myself today, if I did not have get up and meditate this morning, I probably wouldn't been able to do this podcast today because I probably would have been locked up because I was getting ready to beat the brakes off of my. So I'm not exempt from anything. I tell people
Right.
all the time, I don't think the peace and the love and the peace and the light won't get you fucked up.
There you
Like,
go.
don't
That's
believe
it.
that.
That's it.
We are warriors at heart.
Mm-hmm.
We're peaceful at being.
Oh
But
That's
yeah.
don't
it.
press the. They had to say, don't poke the bell. Don't poke the
Don't
fucking
poke the
bell.
bear.
Mm-hmm.
Don't do. So it's to the listener. I would say whatever you're learning, whatever you're getting into, just stop and pause for a minute. See the level in which you are. Which direction do you need to go?
Right.
Do you need to be more metaphysical? Or do you need to understand it more ground?
Mm.
Do you need to stop reading a minute and really be able to bring all of that in to be able to consolidate that information, or you just somebody that reads so much you can't even compartmentalize that what you know now because you done read so much shit come together you ain't even put it together your damn self.
Right. Right. Right.
So I would say to the listener, pause, man. Just hold up a minute. Listen, if you're true to yourself and you're creating a community, you're creating a vibe, you're creating a way of life that's beneficial to others. All you gotta do is continue to do it. That's all you gotta
Mm.
do. Continue to do it. You will attract the people. I'm living proof. Like I'm on divine time just because I was in divine time. So
Mm.
y'all don't even get that. That's the only reason that I'm here today. See, if I had not been on my time, if I had not been doing what I'm supposed to do, I couldn't be here today. I couldn't participate in this particular
Mm.
moment with these brothers, two brothers right here that I know they my brother.
Right.
I wouldn't be able to do that. So to the
Hmm.
listener, I would say pause, be still, take a breather. Sometimes just a few breaths can save a life. And I'm a living witness to that. A few breaths can save a
That's it.
life.
Hmm.
That is so true.
So well, I
Hmm.
wanna ask you this, Sigma Uno.
Okay.
Now that you 50, the
Mm-hmm.
plans and goals that you have, the vision that you have, the dedication that you have to self. If you could go back, I'm gonna be easy, 10 years and tell
Mm-hmm.
yourself something at 40 that you can develop for 10 years, what would it be?
Slow down. Think. That's it.
You stole.
I would
You
say
stole.
slow down. You got it.
Okay.
Don't listen to everybody talking, jaw jacking, because they don't know what they're talking about because they don't know you. You know you better than anybody knows you.
Uh,
Slow down. Write
facts.
everything down.
Yeah.
That's what I would tell myself 10 years ago.
When I was
You
younger,
know,
this was
in all honesty,
Hmm.
I would tell myself 10 years ago is to develop a company that can be scaled. Develop a service, a custom, something that can be scaled, that can be implemented into a community where it benefits all, and develop it for the next 10 years. If I had something to
And
go back and tell myself, that's what
that and you just said a
powerful.
mouthful because that's what's been in development for years. It's been in development for years. And the messed up part about it was I was talked in to allowing that to be a part of a company that wants to take control of it. Nope. That was my
Mm,
beginning 10 years ago. I had aged out of these groups that wanted to take my ideas and use it for themselves. I had three companies I was working for. When I went back to take my idea and the name of the company that I built, they said no, it's property of this company because you created the idea within our organization. And I
hmm.
was like, "Ain't about a bitch."
Whoa.
See what I'm saying?
Yeah,
So that
that's
was
real.
me
Hmm.
listening. Not. I didn't really trust in myself. If I'd have trusted in myself,
Mm,
my company would be completely independent of any organization, and it
different.
would have been a lot bigger than what it is now. You see what I'm saying?
That's okay.
So stop,
We get that.
listen to yourself, write it down. Don't listen to outside voices. It would have been more profitable. It would have been a lot bigger than what it is now. Which again, it delayed it delayed the inevitable, but it delayed it enough to where I was discouraged. Not no more. You see what I'm
hey, I
saying?
like that. Not no more.
Hmm. Hmm.
Yeah. So yeah.
I
I
think that
love
was
that. I love.
because he said he stole it.
Yeah. What? Yeah. Because you got to think about it like this. Like just think about this. Like the skills that I'm learning now at 50, to
Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
learn those skills at 40. I'm a multi-millionaire. I don't know if I still have the same result. You see what I'm saying?
It
So
wouldn't be the same
sometimes
result.
the yeah, you know what I'm saying. I wouldn't. I mean, do I still have the same strength when I get pushed down? Do I got the same fight to get back up?
Yeah.
Do
Yeah.
you
th-
do
no,
you do you
You got to fight
consent
harder
to
to get
defeat?
up.
Yeah. Do you? Yeah. So
You got to fight
I've
harder.
never in my entire life ever consented to defeat. Now I done got the shit beat out. I done lost in real fight, but I
Hmm.
ain't never just be like, Cause sometimes you got to prove to me that you can do that. Do it again.
Yeah.
You whooped my ass that time. Let me see you do that shit again.
No, you're
I
gonna
need to
fight me
know. I need
whatever
to
the day that you
know.
fought
I
me.
I need to fucking know that I don't got a chance in the world to whoop your ass. And as long as I believe I got a chance in the world, let's fucking fight. As long as I got that chance in the world.
Oh, goodness.
If it's a
You know what I'm
branch
saying? So
nearby,
that's how I took
I'm
upon life.
smoking. I'm
What,
biting.
whatever.
Pulling
What
skin off.
on site? How the boy
You'll
said
remember the
on
days
site,
that you taught me.
on site. You know?
I'm sorry.
Yeah, man. So
No.
it's different. You know what I mean? Like to
Right. Neither do
again,
I.
I developed
Mm.
personally in 10 years where some people don't have the time to. I'm gonna say that one more time. I have developed personally in 10 years where most people
Mm.
ain't got the time for.
They don't.
Cause see, there was a
Because
time where I didn't work for go ahead, what? Go ahead, Sydney.
I was saying they don't have the structure in their mind because they're too busy with outside interference. The world says you're supposed to be
Mm-hmm.
this. We're supposed to say you're supposed to have that at this age. You're supposed to be developed and you're supposed to have a job making six figures or whatever. It has everything to do with the world and the system. I'm like, fuck the world, fuck the system. I ain't got time for it. I'm gonna build my own and create my own. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And then it has to look like what my original plan looked like without what the world had to offer. I understand one thing: currency moves everything. That's the only thing I'm going to deal with is currency. But the rest of the shit, y'all can have it. I'm done. I can't. I fought with people trying to get there. I trusted people trying to help me get there. It doesn't work. The one that's standing next to me and the people that are around me now have the wherewithal and the tenacity to build it and lay the foundation so it won't fall. Otherwise, you have people jealous of you building, knocking and knock every time you build a wall up, they come and knock it down in the middle of the night, and the work starts all over again. Damn that! We want people around you that's going to help you build the wall. That's going to work through you through midnight until the dream is built. You see what I'm saying? So I've had that bag of plans like you're talking about for 10 years, 20 years, solidly 15 years. You see what I'm saying? Because I was born. I was when I hit the street 17. It was all hustle. I had no house to go back to. I had nobody to go back and talk to. If I hit the ground, I had to get up quick or I was steamrolled. You see what I'm saying? So I had to keep going, keep going,
Mm-hmm.
keep going. There was no pause, and I had to even pause with my son because I'm thinking he should be that way, but he does. He didn't have to go through what I went through. You see what I'm saying? So it's just
Mm-hmm.
I'm not tired of it though. I'm going to build what
Oh
I
hell
said
no.
I'm going to build. It ain't got nothing to do with this country. It got nothing to do with the system that's at play at all. Period. It's gonna happen. So that's how I view it.
I'm more invigorated now than I've been in my entire life.
I
You know what I'm
agree.
saying? Some people when they get a
Yeah.
certain age, they slow down. Shit.
Slow down.
I'm
Stop.
picking up I'm picking up the pace up in here.
There
You
you
know what
go.
I'm
Yeah.
talking about? I'm picking up the pace up in this. So
Yeah.
yeah, man. Like I think that a lot of times too, for me personally, and talking to young brothers, especially my young brothers, they don't
Hmm.
see an out. You know what I mean? Some wanna,
Yeah.
some want a game, some wanna, they wanna do sports, but some they don't even they got no idea. You know what I'm saying? I remember being 20 and not having any idea. And rest in power to my Uncle Douglas. He
Hmm.
said to me one time, he said, listen, you gotta create your dream. I said, Uncle Douglas,
Hmm.
I don't even got no motherfucking dream. Like I'm
Right.
like 13, 14 years old. He telling me I need to find a dream. And I'm like, I don't got no dream. Like I don't know what you talking about. And
Right.
he said, yeah, it's in there. You'll find it one day, but it's in there. But you got a purpose. You got a dream. He said the same way I built Disney, the same way you will build yours. You just you gotta see the vision. I was
You know
13
you're
years old
right.
and I had no damn what he I had no clue what he
Right.
was talking.
You know you're right because I've run into people, young brothers, that are afraid to dream because they don't want to wait it
Mm-hmm.
out. They don't want to work it until it manifests. I have
Mm-hmm.
one that had so much talent. I said, bro, you got talent. Let's build it. Nah, man, I don't. Every time I have a dream, something coming happen, and everything flatlines.
Yep.
That's because either you didn't lay the foundation right, or we're here to help you lay the foundation right. He was
Yep.
completely afraid to build. He was afraid to wait for and look for the progress. He needed it now, and that was it. And I was like, man, this whole microwave society, bro, it doesn't work. But it's when you get older, if you don't use it, it's a waste of talent. I've seen it 10, 15,000 times. And it's horrible, man, because the world pushes you to have and to have it right now. That means, and they don't understand. In the hood, that means I'm going to sell dope. I'm going to be the biggest drug lord in the area that I live in. This is my block. I'm going to have everybody working for me. That's the creation of crime for some people. They have that ambition, but it's on the negative side. And eventually the police going to come and knock everything down and they're going to do time in prison. And I hate to see that. I tried once with my brother and some of his friends to say, look, y'all out here doing your thing. Why don't you put your money towards something that's going to build for you and become a real organization so you can make money, so you can walk away from this and make some money. They couldn't lend their brain to the idea, or they were afraid it wasn't going to work. So it's like, what is my responsibility to that? Do I keep pushing, or do I build in front of them? If I build in front of them, like for some, they were like, "Oh man, this is how you do it," and they come back and they start telling the story. And I'm like, "I'm glad you went and did it." I don't say I told you so. I'm glad you went and did it. But there are some that are
There
completely
you go.
afraid and afraid to move forward. You know what I'm saying?
Let me
Sad.
say this. Since you said that, I want to say this especially to my older gentlemen and to my
Hmm.
older women. Do not
Hmm.
say I fucking told you so.
So,
Nobody on their damn journey want to hear that shit.
no, no,
Okay?
no,
How about
no.
encourage them where
There
they
you go.
are, but don't even when you know it,
Yeah,
don't tell them I
I
told
told
you so.
right.
You really barking on the wrong tree. So
You're
anybody,
right.
that's something for the listeners. Listeners, if you can hear that shit, don't tell them I told you so.
Yeah, right.
It's okay for you to know the truth, but
Right.
you don't have to parade it in their face
There you
like you're so right, like you're so supreme.
go.
Like it's
No.
okay to be right. Shut your damn mouth. Be the be the one that raised the soul. Be the one that goes what it needs.
There you
Let the
go.
soul evolve.
Hmm.
Teach now what you didn't know versus you telling them what you did when you was a child. Hell, when I tell stories when I was a child, I tell them don't do that shit. Don't
Don't
do
do
that shit
that.
that I did.
Exactly.
Mm-mm. Do
Exactly.
something different. Do something different.
Right. Right.
You know.
That's good. That's good.
Something different. I like that.
Something different.
So yeah, that's the one thing that I would share is to my brothers, my older brothers, and my older sisters. I don't care what you know, but just don't say I told you so. Like, don't do that.
Yeah. They'll get it.
Yeah,
Give me your
And
mind for
just
that one. I don't care what you know. You just say I ain't told you.
right.
yeah, they'll
Just
get it, but
don't say
don't
that.
give them what they need. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Give
you don't
them
need
what
to
they
say
need. You
that.
don't. Yeah, yeah. That part. How they say it. That part.
That part, exactly.
Great. Now we gotta be hip.
That part. Yeah,
Oh
that
man.
part.
Hey,
uh,
we-
but
I enjoyed y'all coming on and talking. I'm gonna go ahead and bring this to a close because we're gonna have some more conversations in the future,
Definitely.
for sure. And with that, I appreciate y'all. I hope that anybody who listens to this can gain something from it, whether it's new or even if they are not able to use it themselves, that they're able to pass it on to anybody that they end up coming across in the future. the wisdom that is around me right now is phenomenal. I don't know exactly. Know what? I do know how it came about. I'm not gonna say I don't know how it came about. I know exactly how it came about. That right there is the law of attraction. Law of attraction and law of vibration. That's how I feel is the best way to describe it. Anybody who listens to this, I would love to hear what you took from it down in the comments. And I also have a task for y'all to get a piece of paper out and write down your goals, dreams, and aspirations. Because one of the biggest things that I took from both of these gentlemen is write it down. That's something they always have been saying is write it down, especially Mr. Signuno and Mrs. Signuno. You don't write it down, it never happens. I mean, that's something that I feel that we should pass on to the other generations as well. Like, write it down. I believe it was Mr. Signuno earlier who also said he write everything down.
Yeah.
There's so much power in the pen.
Definitely.
There's so much power in the pen. Our words have power, the pen has power as well.
Mm-hmm.
And once you write it down, look at it. My grandma told me something. She was like, look, you're at the point where write something down before you go to bed. Say it to yourself and say it out loud. When you wake up, first thing you need to do is read that. Say it to yourself, say it out loud. Watch everything start to happen for you. And I'm not gonna lie, I'm stubborn. I was doing that for a little bit, and I'm getting back into that. I didn't say it. I almost flipped the mouthful. You almost heard that churra. I call myself. I've been working on it. But with that, for everybody, this is an episode of Divine Time. I thank y'all for stopping in. Really appreciate y'all. I appreciate the love and support that has been happening. Let's start this topic. Y'all on their episode.
Peace, love, and light.